So let me know if you're able to see my screen, okay?
Okay.
Are you able to see?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So yesterday what we have discussed, let us have a recap. So okay, let's discuss like what we're going to discuss today. So first of all, like we will have a discussion on yesterday's learnings, and we will discuss on API-led connectivity. So what are system APIs, what are process APIs, and what are experience APIs, and we will at the end create one AnyPoint platform account, and we will have it tour of that platform. Okay.
Okay.
So yesterday what we have discussed. So we have discussed about the prerequisites and FAQs like before starting our course. So like what all we need to have an idea about MuleSoft or any other technologies you wanted to know. So all this we have discussed. And we have discussed about web services, and we have discussed about the APIs and differences between web services and APIs we have discussed. And we have seen just introduction of MuleSoft. And I have explained one example where restaurant, like we have seen, right, one video where the restaurant example we have seen where the waiter acts as a
Yes.
API. So that is one example we have seen, and Redbus also we have seen one example for web services. Okay, so
Okay.
let's deep dive into our today's classes. Okay, so like what is API-led connectivity basically? Do you have any idea about it, or have you seen any tutorials when you're learning or anything like that?
Yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
but connecting more applications.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, API-led connectivity is nothing but it's an approach, basically architectural approach, where MuleSoft has bringing this concept to connect to different systems and different stakeholders. Okay, so let us just read out this. Okay, what is happening, and then I'll explain what exactly it means. So API-led connectivity emphasizes the creation of well-defined APIs for different layers of the organization infrastructure. It means like let's say you have a different systems, means different databases. So at that time, you cannot connect all the systems in one API, right? So you need to take different APIs, means you need to have a different applications to connect to different systems. So at that time, it will connect to different systems and get the data. It means it's called a raw data from the database. So you don't want to show that to the end user, all the raw data. You just wanted to show, right, only the required data. So that is where our lead connectivity comes into picture. Okay. So the lead connectivity, like API lead connectivity, is divided into mainly into three parts. Means three layers, we would say. So in technical terminology, they will say we have three layers of APIs in like, which means the API led connectivity only means three layers, which is system layer, process layer, and experience layer. So like our API-led connectivity follows the bottom-up approach, starting with the creation of API at the system layer, like which then based on I mean like our functionality, right? Like let's say you wanted to connect to different systems and combine those output into one particular output. So that is where like you can see, right, reused and combined to build higher level APIs in the process layer and experience layers. Okay, you got like you have any doubt over here, like what I have discussed at this point, and we will like deeply discuss about each layer, like system layer, why it is used, process layer, how why it is used, and experience layer, why it is used. So you have any questions over here for this slide, or
No.
any confusion that I have explained, or am I going little faster, or should I like slow down?
Can you please explain it as in easy way? It is important, right? IP-led connectivity. We expect
Okay.
a question in interview also.
Yes. So let me just tell you. Let me take one example. So drawing.io means drawing.io. Let me just explain like why exactly why we use. Okay. So let me just put away this one and new and blank. So let's say like we will take one example, Harish, basically means like yesterday we have discussed red bus, right? Similarly, we will take one example now. So let's say you're having APSRTC and let me just take like this. Okay. So here, let me just put APSRTC booking. So similarly, I have TSRTC also. TSRTC booking. So let's say I have one more like public transport means like private transports we'll have, right?
Yes,
Private transport. So just assume that these are all databases, all these three. Okay. And we will have one more session. Okay. Like Control C, Control V. And here, let us have ISRTC. ISRTC means railways, right?
yes,
Okay. So let me just take ISRTC as well. And one more I'll take. So here, let's say this is airline, airlines booking. And let's say it could be anything, but we just assume that all these are databases. Okay. So now you wanted to connect to each and every system here. Means system means database, each and every database. So like what we will do, we will build different system layers on top of it. Before that, let me just like have like this so that, and let me put a color so that it will be more easier to understand. So let's say system layer and control C, sorry, control C, control C, control V. And it's, let's say here we have process layers, process layer. And similarly, we have one more layer called experience layer, experience layer. Okay. So now what is our main agenda? Now we wanted to connect to each and every database here, which we are showing it in our screen, means which is APSRTC, TSRTC, and similarly all other databases. So now, like what is our main scope? First, system layers, what it does is it will connect to the underlying systems, means to this particular databases and get the raw data of particular each and every database. Okay, let me just put like this and let me call this as, I'll just name like little similar to particular APIs. I'll name it as uh, TAPSRTC SAPI. Means like it is easier to understand, right? It is a system layer like that, SAPI. So similarly, we will have the other like just understand Harish. Like it is like it should have different each database should have its own system layer. That is the best practice. TSRTC, and let me just copy and put one more here, ISRTC. So ISRTC, and similarly for all this. So airplane SAPI. Okay. Now how many we have overall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I miss something? TSRTC private I missed. Okay. So all these
So
are,
SAPA means
huh?
SAPA means
SAPI means system API అని అర్థం.
okay.
So now it will connect to this. It will connect to this. Similarly, ఒక నిమిషం మౌస్ తీసుకుంటా.
Okay.
So similarly, it will connect to each and every system. Basically, means each database connecting to its own system layer. So it's let's say now it has connected, right? Now we wanted like let's say ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉండే బస్సెస్ ఇక్కడ డిస్ప్లే చేస్తే ఇక్కడ ఉండే డిస్ప్లేస్ ఇక్కడ ఇక్కడ డిస్ప్లే చేస్తాయి. నౌ ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి మనకు వాట్ ఇస్ అవర్ మెయిన్ అజెండా, లైక్ లెట్స్ సే వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ వన్ లైక్ బస్ ఆపరేటర్ మీన్స్ నాట్ ఆపరేటర్, లెట్స్ సే కంట్రోల్ సెట్. సో నౌ లెట్ us take our yesterday's example, red bus. Red bus is our client, let's say. So red bus in the red color. Okay. Red bus. Similarly, we have make my trip. Make my trip. And let me just remove bus. So let's say these two are your clients and they wanted different kind of data. Okay. And let's say now you're having like different systems, right? For each and everything. Means we don't have combined together. Now our agenda is like we wanted to combine these all datas together. Means it's not like all the data is required to one client only. It requires different like different client requires different data. Let's say in our case, Redbus requires only bus data, right? It does not require IS means the railways data and the airplane data. Only the bus data it requires. At that time, what we will do? We will build one process layer where the main business logic is written. So let's say, let me just put it into one color so that it will be more easier to understand. So let me put in this way. So this is one of the process layer. And similarly, I'll have one more where it should have combination of different data. Just remember one thing, Harish here. So here we are not writing any logic in this layer. We are just connecting to the underlying systems and we are just getting the raw data to the system layers. Okay. So now let's say here it is combination of like let's say bus data hyphen PAPI. Don't confuse with the names, Harish. So PAPI means process layer. PAPI, right?
Okay.
PAPI means process layer. Similarly, here we wanted uh, train, airline, PAPI. So like we are having two process layers now. So this is where our main business logic will be written. So now let me just take in this way. So now this bus data, sorry. So bus data should come from the TSRTC and from here also you need, right? So let me just take one more or just let me just click on it, Control C, Control V, or let's say, let me just take in this way, right? We don't have to be very particular about this thing. So this one is also connecting to this. and from the private bus also you need the data. So at this time, what we are doing in the process layer? So we are connecting all these three APIs. Means like we are only going to develop this SAPIs, right, Harish? Basically in our development stage. So we are going to have three system layers, and we are going to connect to the databases of each and every underlying system. So now we are all like each and every API is having its own raw data of each database. Now what is our main agenda here? Now we wanted to take bus details from TSRTC, APSRTC, and from the transport, means private transport. So now we are going to connect in our process layer all these three systems through using our system layers. Means we will expose our system layers as a restful APIs, and then we are going to connect in our particular like the process layers. Here we are going to write the business logic, main business logic. Means this we don't want to, like, let's say you're writing any business logic and you don't want to show it to the end user, each and every data what that we are writing. It just wanted only bus details. So we are going to just expose the bus details to the red bus. You're getting what I'm saying here?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So mainly what we are doing here, first we are building system layers on top of each and every database. Later we are connecting all the three link, means which all transportation you require. We are connecting all the three systems into one system. Means where we wanted all the data to get together, and we wanted this data to be exposed to this particular red bus. Similarly, now we are having other SAPIs as well, where it has train details as well as, I mean, the airplane details as well. So let's say now we are connecting here. Means we are getting only the data of airline and the IS, means the train details. Now this we will connect to the, means this we will expose to the end user as a main like endpoint, so that they will use it and they'll get the data. You got it? What we are doing? First we are connecting to the system layers, and after that here we are not writing any business logic. We are just getting the raw data from the databases which they have given. So, and we are connecting, and here we are writing the business logic. What main logic they wanted, means what all details they wanted. We are going to segregate over in this particular purchase. I mean, not the process layers, and we are going to give it to the end users. Maybe like a step ahead. Let me just delete here. Control Z, and let me delete this as well. So let's say like we are having experience layer as well, right? Like, sorry, I just missed out over here. Experience layer. So we will have one more layer here, which is experience layer. Similarly, let's say we have two, right? Means two different users wanted two different endpoints. Maybe here we are writing the business logic, right, Harish? Means in the process layer. So we don't want that to be showed to the client. Means we don't want each and everything to be showed to the client. We just wanted to show only the actual data that they wanted. So this is where the experience layer comes into picture. So let's say now bus data ex API, or just X API, means experience API. That is how the terminology we follow the real time basis. And here a like train air X API, means experience API. And like what we are doing here, first we are like connecting to the systems, and we are writing a business logic into these systems, means the process APIs, and we are just wanted to give the actual data to the end user, and we don't want to show the business logic. Means like we will provide our endpoints, no, Harish? So at that time, like there is a possibility that the any sensitive data is being captured by clients. So that is why we don't want to expose this process layer directly to the end user. So at that time, what we will do, we will just write a business logic and send only the data that they wanted. Means here that mappings we will do here in these layers, and these layers we will expose them as a RESTful web service, so that in their systems they will configure our endpoints, and then they will get the actual data what they wanted. And they don't, like, we are not exposing any sensitive data to them, only the data they wanted, we are just exposing them. In this case, Redbus is taking the buses from all the three databases, means all the three bus providers. And in this case, in the my make my trip, we are just providing only the trains. And also, like, let's say they wanted all the bus, make my trip also gives make my this one, right, bus details also. At this time, what we will do,
Yes,
this we can provide to this guy also, means this guy. So what here it will do, it will get all the data from different process layers, and it will give the data. Here Redbus wanted only the Redbus details, means only bus details, so we are exposing him. Now here we what we wanted, they wanted the bus details as well as the airline and the train details. So that is why we are just capturing separately, means bus details in one process layer and train details in one process layer. So that is where, like, for the bus details, we are giving only the bus details, and the he wanted all the details, all the transportation services. So that is why we are exposing again here to the experience layer, and he's getting all the data from different. So you got it right, what we have done here.
yes, bro.
Is it clear, or still confusing with the API-led connectivity?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. So in the same, in let's say in your interview also they're asking. So this is what the same agenda, like the same thing that we do in our real time also. So we are having three different databases, and like the end user wanted different data, right? So that is where we are connecting all the three layers into one layer, and we are like aggregating all the details, and we are just providing as a service to them, so that they'll get exact data. That's all. No, nothing much to worry about it. Any confusion in the API-led
Okay,
connectivity? In real time also, this is the same approach we follow.
okay,
Just blindly remember that there are multiple n number of databases that you wanted to connect. So at that time, what is the main agenda? Like we wanted to like connect, and we don't like different databases and get the first raw data. After getting the raw data, like different clients wanted different data from each, like different databases. So like let's say there is one more example. Like you are having one SQL database, and there is one more AWS database. So in SQL database, there is a customer data, and in AWS database, there is order data. So at that time, what we will do generally, so we will build different two different system layers and connect to underlying systems. Means for AWS, I'll construct one. Means I will build one API. For the SQL one, I will build one more system layer, and I will connect to them, and I will combine them in the process layer, so that the aggregated output of both the databases I'll be able to capture. And like whatever is required to the end user, like let's say he wanted to combine both the, means like we cannot say that it cannot be like the order details are in the same database, and the customer details are in the same database. It's up to the client how he wanted to store the data. It could be in same database, as well as it can be in different databases, different details. So that's up to them. So according to their requirement, we are going to work. So we're like ultimately connecting to two different bases, means two different database, and we are getting the aggregated output of each and every system layer, means both the system layers in our case. We are aggregating the output, and we are giving it to the experience layer, only the data that we have to show it to the end user. And we are exposing that experience layer, means aggregated output layer, to the end user as a RESTful web service, so that they'll consume it and they'll get whatever data they wanted. As simple as that. Got it?
okay, bro. Yeah,
Very clear, right? Like the API led connectivity in your interview also, you should not be confused. Okay, let me just
Okay.
maybe I will just save it and I will give it to you in the chat so that you can save it maybe. And let me just go to desktop. Where is the desktop? Okay, let me put it in the download for now. 1 minute. Like just save it, okay? When I'm giving, maybe you'll
Okay.
have the option of saving, right?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So I will drop it here. Any doubts in the API led connectivity?
No,
Clear, right? Okay. Now let us go back to the slides. Okay. So like just same thing like which I have explained just now, right? See here in this case, there is toll database, UPS database, SAP database, Salesforce database, and different. Here, if you see Dropbox and cart, all you can see cart details. So what they're doing here in this, like in this slide, so they're connecting. Each database is connecting to different system layers. Each system layer is connecting to each underlying systems, and they're like I just explained, right? Like in our case, we have seen Redbus is getting the details from three different system layers. So similarly, you can see here, it is getting toll supplements details from here and UPS supplements details from here, shipment details from here, and here they are exposing as a rest like experience layer. Means I just explained, right, in our slide also, means in our drawing.io also. So same thing they are doing here. Process layer means they are having different systems and they wanted to expose. In our case, like in process layers we have built two particular process layers, and one is having the bus details, one is having the airline and the uh, like train details. So similarly, right, like this wanted details from here also, and from here also, and from here also. So that is where it is captured, it is getting connected. In our case, like I just showed, make my trip is connecting to two different process layers, right? So very simple, like in the real time also this is the same approach they follow. Harish, is it clear here in this slide?
okay. Yes, bro.
By this time you should have more clarity on this with my previous explanation and this slide as well. In this case, they are having mobile users and the desktop users. Means they are using a mobile API and a web API, which is website. Here is a application. Okay. So let us go
Okay.
forward. The same thing here. So like say system APIs are built to connect through underlying systems. Any system which contains the raw data means like we are connecting, right, in our slides. We have connected to databases, and that is giving a raw data means complete data. Whatever is there in the means in that particular database, it is giving all the data. So basically system API contains sensitive information as it contains the raw data. Should never be exposed to public use means we should not expose this system layer to directly to the, like let's say here we are having the system layer, you don't want to, you should never expose, like we can directly give the endpoint from the system layer itself to the end user, but that is not the case because it will have all the data, right? Whatever, like it could be anything. And in 10 minutes, okay, sorry. So it will give all the data whatever is there in the database. So we don't want to expose them all the data. So we just wanted to expose. So that is where we should never expose them directly to the public use. Means for example here what they're saying, API which connects to the databases, Salesforce, SAP, like Snowflake, all those are databases. Means like we're just connecting our system layers to the databases. That's all. So that is a thing. Means in the system layer we are not writing any business logic, we are just connecting, that's all, and getting the data. So in our process layer, what we are doing, process APIs are built to combine two or more system APIs. Means like we are connecting, like we just saw our example, right? We are connecting three different providers, bus providers details, and then we are connecting, and then we are combining all the data, and we are providing at whatever the data they required. Okay. So usually to do any kind of transformation or implementation or any kind of business logics or shape the data out of the system APIs, means from the system layers we are getting the raw data, means very big data we will get it, and we wanted to aggregate those outputs, means from that particular output from the system layers we wanted to capture only the particular data, means we wanted to show them the only order details or only the customer details. So we are just going to filter it out in our process layer, means we are going to write the business logic here. So it may perform aggregation or splitting or routing the data. So that is what, right? Like I just explained, it's going to aggregate. Aggregate means combine the data. So process APIs must be
Okay.
private and should never be exposed to the public for the use. Means like same, right? In our case we have explained. So it may this process layer may have the business logic. There might be a sensitive data. So that if you expose directly to the end user, there is a possibility of security issues. Means like different kind of data they will be able to access. So that is why we don't want to share the all the details from the process layer. So that is where we brought up experience layer, where we just provide the required data the client wanted. That's all. So for example, aggregating customer data and produce product data that comes from two system APIs where actual data is originated to provide order status. Means that's what, right? We are just filtering it out, that particular data that we wanted to show it to the end user. Any doubt here? Process layer and system layer, Harish?
No doubt.
Yeah, let us complete this task. Okay, maybe 10 minutes, only 7 minutes are there for me, and I'll not be able to record, right? So that's all, Harish. Experience layer or APIs, which are kind of wrapper either to process APIs or to the system layers, so that client or consumer can use it. Whatever we are producing, right? The actual data means from the system layer to process layer, and we are aggregating, and that data only we are sending it to him. Client or consumer will not have exposure or contact with direct raw data. So we can have minimal data transformation, like the final route, means final result to be in the JSON or XML format. Means like in our process layer we are aggregating, right, from two different system layers. So that data we wanted to give it to the end user as different formats. It could be JSON format, XML format, or it could be CSV format, or any other formats also it could be. So we just wanted to give in that particular format they wanted. So that transformation we will do it in the experience layer. Okay. Any doubt in the experience layer?
Okay. No doubt.
Yeah. So you should be clear about like with the API-led connectivity by this time. Okay. I think if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I can tell it. No, not an issue.
Okay.
Okay. So now let us go to our AnyPoint platform creation, like how we will be able to create. Okay. So let me first, you have to go to this particular, I will provide this link to you. So once you get your laptop, you can just create your own account. So you should basically create. So let me just create in this way. July 22, and I'll give my email address only, don't worry. Okay. Developer. Don't fill anything, no issues. Only you should be clear about, like you can put your name also here. For our understanding purpose, I'm just putting July 22 batch maybe. And here country, India. You can put India. You can put Andhra Pradesh, not an issue. Anything you can put, doesn't matter. and you can put mule training only or anything you can put. That's up to you, whatever company wanted to put. That is not mandatory that it should match. And just put 1 to 20 employees. And industry you can put anything, no other problems. And you have to put your phone number here so that it will give a like OTP it will send maybe. So let me put mule training 22 July. So let me just copy it and maybe I'll just store it here. Yeah, and password it could be your choice. And you should click on I'm not a robot and you need to agree and just create. Like it is selling, it is required. Batch 2025. Let me create an account. If any error comes, you need to solve it. Okay. So now we need
Okay.
to verify it. You will get a OTP to your mail address and you can go to your mail address and put that one. So ghemant.gov. So let me just provide it on the go. LWFJT4. So this OTP will get it on your mail address. Okay. So now our email is verified, and this is how the dashboard looks like. Means our whole Anypoint platform looks like. So here we have different components. So this is the Anypoint code builder. We will not be using it. So this is where, like I said, right? Like there is no use, like there we don't have to use any point studio directly. We can build it over here. So nowadays, now like it is getting popular, but still, like users are not using it. Just for testing purpose, they are doing it. Okay, in the design center we will write our raml and we will specify our specifications, API specifications. We will do it here. We will deep dive into it when we create the ramls and all. Okay. So in exchange, what we will do, let's say you are writing the raml and your raml is completed. So now you wanted to share it to different stakeholders of your company. Means different stakeholders means it could be any client or anything. For testing purpose you wanted to share this developed raml, means API specification. Like they will provide the requirement. On top of that you are going to write the raml and you are going to create the API specification, right? So once it is completed, you wanted to share it to your stakeholders to test it before we start our development. So at that time what you will do, you will publish this particular ramls into the exchange. So that we could say it is a central repository. Means it's a repository, it's a data, like we could say it kind of a database where we are storing our work, and we wanted to share it to different stakeholders. It could be your organization or outside organization also. You can share it, not an issue. And this one you know already, right? Any point today you can download it from here. And this is the main thing in our Mule platform. This is where our all the managements are done. This is called as a management center. So where API manager will be there, API governance, and runtime manager where we will host, right, our like applications. Once we develop, we need to host it. Means we need to just deploy our applications. Once it is deployed, the end user need to use it. So this is where our deployments are happening. The runtime manager visualizer, nothing but like it's kind of, it will show an architecture how the which system is connected to which. All the visualization will happen in this. So monitoring is nothing but you can go like monitor your applications performance, you can monitor here. And